If only powering towns was as easy as saying, "Let there be light." But unfortunately, you have to make sure that your city is actually connected and that you have the ability to produce electricity. And that is your challenge in Power Grid, which was designed by Friedemann Friese and published by Grande Games. Hey everyone, my name is Mike Murphy of the Brothers Murph. I'm here at BoardGameGeek, and today's episode of In Focus is sponsored by the BoardGameGeek store. Now there's a new auction for power plants about to begin, so let's get this game down to the table to go a little more in focus on Power Grid. In Power Grid, you'll be auctioning power plants, which you then hope to be able to power with their respective resources to electrify the cities you have connected to make money and fund future growth. Each round, you will determine player order by who has built the most houses, with tiebreakers going to who has the highest power plant. Then, in turn order, you will auction off power plants from the actual market, which is made up of the 4 lowest power plants in the display, or players can pass. If a player passes, they may not buy a power plant later that round. If a player begins an auction, they name an initial price no lower than the power plant's number, then going around the table, players must increase the bid or pass. The auction continues until one player remains and they pay the highest bid and take the new power plant. Each player may have a maximum of 3 plants, and throughout the game you will be replacing power plants with stronger ones able to power more cities. Once each player has purchased a new power plant or passed, you move on to buying resources. Here, in reverse turn order, you can buy resources that your power plants require to produce electricity. The more there is of a resource in the market, the cheaper it is to buy, and each plant can hold twice the resources needed for production. At the beginning of the game, coal and oil will be cheapest, but in time, garbage and uranium may become cheaper to use. Ecological and fusion power plants require no resources to power their indicated houses. Once players have purchased resources, you move on to building. This phase is done in reverse turn order again, and players take turns building new houses and cities, paying all city and connecting costs. The first time a city is built in, it costs 10 electro. In steps 2 and 3 of the game, additional spaces in your city will open up at a higher cost. To expand your network, you must add on from a city you have already built in, paying both the city cost and all connecting costs from where you have already built. As you build, your network of houses expands, allowing more opportunities to power cities. Building houses and cities is the main way the game progresses. After all players have built as many houses as they wish, move on to the final phase, bureaucracy. Here you may spend resources to power your plants and ultimately your cities. To power a plant, remove the indicated type and amount of resources shown, and the plant will then power the indicated number of cities. You may activate as many of your plants as you wish, but any excess power is wasted. Depending on the amount of cities you powered, you will receive money, which will then be used in future rounds. At the end of the round, you will refill the market depending on the player count and current step of the game. After a player has built their 17th city, the game will end after the building phase, and here players will make a final push to power as many of their cities as possible. The player who manages to power the most cities wins. Power Grid is a game about balance. You want to get the strongest power plant possible, but if you spend too much money at the auction, you might not then have enough money to purchase resources to power that plant. And what use is power if you don't have any houses in your network to provide power to? Finding the balance point between the different phases of the game is key, because if you have the most houses out but can't power them, you still lose. And if Power Grid seems like a game you'd enjoy, consider checking out its page at BoardGameGeek.com and watch a review. And if you're looking to upgrade your next game night, visit the BoardGameGeek store today. And until next time, I'm Mike Murphy. I've been here at BoardGameGeek, and we've been going in focus on Power Grid. Have a great day.